All right, thanks so much, Dan. Hey, Las Vegas Weekly's film critic Josh Bell is here with the big Bell breakdown for the weekend. And we are excited. Got a couple comedies to talk about. Nothing too serious. Now, people like comedies. If they're good.
Yeah, people like them if they're not good also, unfortunately. That's maybe why we have a sequel to Super Troopers, but we'll get to that later.
That's true. Okay, this I Feel Pretty. This is Amy Schumer, and I think a lot of people either love her or they don't, or there's something polarizing that you have to go see it anyway.
Yeah, she's definitely a polarizing figure. I think that's a good word for it. And I like Amy Schumer in general. I mean, her stand-up comedy from when she was kind of first starting out.
Sure.
I remember seeing her live at the Riviera here in town, and I thought she was really funny and really refreshing. And when she made her first film, Trainwreck, a few years ago, I liked that because I think it had a lot of her personal perspective that she brought from her stand-up comedy.
Right.
But now she's doing these more Hollywood-type movies. This is a high-concept comedy. It's a romantic comedy. She plays this woman who's, she's got low self-esteem. She's in a dead-end job. She's not happy with her life, and she kind of bonks her head during an exercise class.
Okay.
And it's like one of these 80s body swap comedies, except it didn't really happen. And she thinks she's now this beautiful supermodel, but of course she looks exactly the same. And ultimately the message here is about having confidence. It's about the idea that you don't need to conform to some beauty standard, that all it is you got to feel good about yourself. But at the same time, it spends the entire movie making jokes at her expense, as if she's this hideous human being who can't possibly do something with confidence that a beautiful person would do. I didn't find it funny. I thought it was disingenuous, and a lot of the supporting characters kind of don't make much of an impression. So there's moments where her personality shines through if you like her, but I think she's stuck in these kind of formulaic movies that don't really work for her.
Yeah, not the best then.
No.
Maybe don't go to the theater, wait for a little
No, I mean, if you love Amy
something.
Schumer, maybe, watch it at home with some friends or something.
Okay, good. Now this one looks funny. Super Troopers 2. First of all, I don't really remember the first one.
It was a long time ago, actually.
But when was it?
It was in 2001.
Oh, wow,
so it's taken a long time to get a sequel, and this is the first movie you may not remember because it didn't really make much of an impression in theaters, but it's become a big cult thing on home video, and they actually financed this sequel on Kickstarter and got millions of dollars as one of the highest grossing Kickstarter projects ever.
Okay,
so there's a fan base for this movie that's about these bumbling state troopers. There's a lot of stoner aspects to this story.
Is that why it's coming out on 4/20?
Exactly.
Okay.
They're really playing that up. And the first one is ridiculous and silly and is kind of a fun movie to watch at home with friends, which I think is why it got that following at home.
Right.
This movie, I think they're maybe trying a little too hard to recapture the first one. They've got again a high concept kind of story where they take over this town in Canada that's being annexed by the US, and so there's all these lazy Canadian stereotype jokes that really get old really quickly. I think maybe if you were a huge fan of the first movie and you just want to see these guys again, the Broken Lizard comedy troupe, back on the screen, then maybe you'll find a few laughs here. Me personally, I don't think I laughed once during this movie, and maybe it helps to be a bit enhanced.
Yeah, maybe at home it's a little better. Or
There you
I don't
go.
know. But yeah, it's interesting because when I watched the trailer, I got a couple chuckles out of it. And I thought, well, this could be decent, but sometimes the trailer's the best part, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, again, a lot of stuff with this comes down to your sense of humor. And if you laughed uproariously at the first one, which I thought was mildly amusing, then I think you'll get more out of this, especially with the callbacks to the jokes from the first movie. But overall, it just didn't seem that funny to me, to be honest.
It looks a little silly.
Yeah, it's silly, but no laughs for me at the movies this week, really.
All right, so not a great weekend, but
unfortunately not.
Sometimes that happens, right, Josh?
Yeah, well, we got big summer movies on the way soon.
Good. Okay, we'll have another Bell breakdown with Josh in a couple weeks. You're taking next week off, right?
Right, I'll be on next week, but back after that.
Okay, we look forward to our May movies.
Yes.
Thanks, Josh. Stay with us.